Hungary is in the midst of a pivotal election this weekend, and it could bring an end to Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's long hold on power. CBC's Briar Stewart is in Hungary, where she spoke with voters about the issues that matter to them.
Hungarians are about to head to the polls, and they'll decide whether or not Viktor Orbán, who's governed this country as Prime Minister since 2010, should be given another term or whether it's time for a change. Now, a number of independent polls suggest that Hungarians, a lot of them, are looking to vote in the opposition party, TISA. It's being led by Péter Magyar, and up until 2 years ago, he was part of Orbán's Fidesz party. He was a party loyalist until he broke ranks, and really since then, he's been criticizing the party, calling out corruption. At a rally where I was today, he must have used the word mafia around a dozen times to describe just how this country is being run. Now, in terms of Hungary itself, there's a population here of less than 10 million, but it wields considerable foreign influence, and that's because of where it's situated. When you consider Orbán, he has very friendly relations with Russia, in particular with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. He also has good ties with Washington. In fact, it was just earlier this week that U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance took really the unprecedented step to come here and lend his support to Orbán's campaign. At the same time, Hungary is part of the European Union, but in recent years, it's really been at odds with the bloc on a number of issues, particularly when it comes to Ukraine. And Orbán has made the decision to actively block some help to Ukraine over a number of issues. And the issue of Ukraine came up repeatedly during this campaign. In fact, Orbán had talked about how he thinks voters have a choice between him and Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky. Orbán has really been trying to frame this as a campaign where people choose to be part of a party of peace or a party of war. Speaking with voters that I've been talking to today, a lot of them do believe that it's a pivotal choice in the election, but it's about whether or not Hungary tilts towards the east more or towards the west.
So we decide between west or east, between Europe or Russia, or maybe Chinese, because if everything stays the same way, it's possible we're heading the right direction, in the direction to be Russia, be China, or worse, be North Korea.
Well, opposition supporters are optimistic about what may happen tomorrow. There is a large sense of nervousness as well, and that's because of the kind of campaign it has been. There have been accusations of vote buying. There are concerns about how the electoral districts have been redrawn and whether or not it gives Orbán's Fidesz party an advantage. And I think neither party thinks that tomorrow is a guarantee, which is why they're encouraging everybody to go out, reminding them that every vote counts, and that's really why you see all of the politicians out on the campaign trail today. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Ifraheto, Hungary.